Alright, thanks once again to Draco Dan for the interview, and now we're going to be going back into the speedrunning side of things as we get into Siredav's run of all 4 games, any percent, of Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo. Take it away, my man.
Alright, thanks very much. This is Super Mario All-Stars, so we're going to be playing all 4. We're going to start off with the Lost Levels, because it's absolutely horrendous, and let's just get it out of the way first.
I will be attempting commentary, so you'll probably correct me a few points.
Okay. So the Lost Levels initially was only released in Japan. It's a bit like an expansion pack on the original Super Mario Bros. So it's a touch harder.
Just a touch.
Just a touch.
Oh dear.
And that's not the best start. So we're gonna.
That's a good job I didn't say World 1-1 was straightforward, isn't it?
I know. Right. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. And we'll get straight into it. Oh dear me. Right. Well, one out of the way. Let's keep going. Okay. So now let's just say about 1-2. We've got our first warp zone. So warp zones what we're going to be using to jump ahead in the game. We've got a warp from World 1 to World 4, and we've got a warp from World 5 to World 8. So we're going to cut out basically a lot of the game, a lot of the nastier levels as well, thankfully.
Yeah, so we've got a dummy warp zone here coming up to throw the player off.
Just throws you into this sub area instead.
So if you carry on there, that's where you hit the World 2 warp.
But instead, we're going to jump over this wall. And we've got our warp zone to World 4. So we've got our first appearance here of red piranha plants, and for the rest of the game it's only red piranha plants. And these are, well, they're a little bit like their green counterparts, but they'll go up and down in the pipes regardless of whether you're standing next. Piranha plants are a little bit more polite in that if you're standing next to the pipes, they won't move up and down, but these ones won't. These ones will.
You've got a lovely Lakita to deal with at the same time as well.
Yep. It's all good fun. That's what we want to try and avoid.
Yeah. Obviously just slows down the whole run with the animation.
So we're going to get fireworks whenever the last 2 digits of the timer are the same. So if I'd been paying a little bit more attention there, what I should have done is just wait just a second.
Oh dear.
That's okay. He didn't quite do what I wanted him to do. Generally, if you run at the Hammer Bros at speed, they behave in more or less the same way. So that first Hammer Bro, he usually just jumps over me and I don't have to deal with him. And I was expecting the second Hammer Bro to do the same, but it's not always. They're not always quite as predictable as I'd like them to be.
So this is the level with the off-screen paratrooper, right?
Yep. So I'm going to wait here for this guy to jump down, so that I can bounce off his head and keep going. If I had just jumped straight into that, then instead he'd have been in the wrong place, and I'd have gone straight down into that pit.
Very nicely done. Well done.
Thank you. Okay, so this is where the difficulty really picks up. We've got our first Bowser's Castle, 4-4. One of only 2 that we're going to do in the Lost Levels. There's a safety mushroom in one of these boxes at the start, but we're not going to go for it because it throws off the timing of some of the fire bars, and it makes it a little bit more tricky to take this corridor here. So by staying in Small Mario, it just makes it a little bit easier for me to get to the end of the level. right, we're gonna wait.
Dance with Bowser a little bit.
Couldn't trust him then.
No. And this is the only time we see Toad as well, isn't it, in this whole run?
Yeah, I think
Well,
it is.
for the last levels
For
run.
the last levels at least.
Arguably a good thing.
Okay, 5-1. This is a really weird level. You've got lots of staircases in it, and it looks like it looks like you're close to the end of the level, but they keep faking you out. So there's no flagpole until for quite some time yet. And when you do get to the flagpole, it's not preceded by a staircase anyway, which it's just a little bit strange. So you think there's going to be a flagpole here, and no, there's not. And then we've got this impossible to scale wall. So we've got these hidden blocks to take care of. And finally the flagpole. Just Lost Levels in a nutshell. It's all about subverting expectation. Whatever you think you know about Mario, you don't.
Oh, so this is where there's the really tricky jump to hit a vine block. You'll see when we come to it. There's
It's
a really
lovely
quick
level.
way of doing it, but it's quite hard to pull off. So, I hope I haven't jinxed you there.
Guess we'll see. That was close.
That was a little bit.
Right, so here's the vine block. So I want to hit,
Ooh.
just about missed it, but didn't die, so that's fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
It's really close to that lower lip, and if you hit the lip, you get sent straight into the pit.
And this
So,
is for your warp, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to walk from here to World 8, which is where it really steps up a gear.
Which is nice because I never ever got past World 7 in this in Lost Levels, so I might try your strategy to beat it.
I don't like World 7 either, that's why I skip it.
So this is wind when we've got these this weird animation on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it just pushes you to the right. We've got a couple of hammer bros to deal with, and hopefully they behave themselves. This guy will jump. No, we won't.
Ooh.
Right, okay.
Got away with it though.
Yeah,
Oh, not
panicked.
quite there. Not quite there.
That
Sorry, mate,
first hammer
sorry.
bro completely threw me off. Okay. I don't think on my feet then. It's the trouble with hammer bros.
Yeah, horrible.
Unpredictable. This is going to be a little bit trickier than if we'd just landed on the top of the pipe instead.
So we've got another off-screen
Right,
Hooper
jump
character
over
over
me.
there. Oh dear, oh dear. Just dance with him. Be patient.
The trouble with him is he's there's a particular kind of hammer bro that only appears in Lost Levels, and he's one of those. So he marches forwards at all times, so you can't actually dance with him.
Oh dear. All right. Okay.
You've just got to jump at the right time.
We'll see the Hammer Bro dance in Super Mario Bros. 1.
I ain't gonna let him take care of himself. There we go.
Off he goes. There we are.
That guy's not jumping down. Yes, he is. Okay,
Oh dear.
this isn't great.
These are being cruel to you today.
Okay.
We're still, well, that's alright, because it's still 8-1, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing with World 8, there's no checkpoints either, so every time you die, you're straight back to the start of the level.
What's interesting about that is because you play Lost Levels by level, it's saved by level and not by world, the life system means literally nothing at all anymore. If you get a game over, you start at the start of the level, and if you get a death, you start at the start of the level as well. So the life system is just cosmetic now.
There we are, that's out of the way. That's
Here we go.
Finally.
We got there.
Should also say that he's using Mario. Luigi does jump a bit higher in this game, but he has less traction. He's a bit more slippy to use. So when you're trying to make those block perfect jumps, you sort of need.
I prefer Mario. Like there are some runners that run Luigi, but yeah, he's slippier, but he's got a higher jump. One chance to hit that block. That was lovely.
And you have to hit that block, don't you?
Yeah.
This isn't the shortcut or anything. This is like
No, this is just where the end of the level is hidden. So if you keep running to the right, you end up at a pipe. The pipe takes you back to the start, and the level just loops. So it's a bit of a puzzle level. You've got to hit the block, climb up it, and then find the finish.
And again, you're avoiding power-ups here, right? To
So
make the beginning of this level a bit easier.
stay in a small Mario on purpose so that I can run under Lackey 2 here and just
like
keep going. So he's much trickier to deal with if I'm big. The unfortunate side effect of that is now I've got another lovely bunch of Hammer Bros, and I'm playing a small Mario.
The other thing with this level, there are hidden blocks, lots of hidden blocks by the Hammer Bros, so you can jump and hit one, and obviously it'll throw your jump off completely, and usually into a hammer.
Whoops. Supposed to stay on that so that I can make this jump. There we go.
Well dealt with.
So it goes a little bit better than the previous Hammer Bros.
Okay, so there is a possible safety mushroom here at the start of this level. I don't know if he's going to take it, but I know he's running Connor's running a new strat here that I've seen, and it looks very smooth. So
Okay, so this is just precise platforming. Lots of it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to head down there. We've got a little bit of respite in that this is an underwater section and there's not a whole lot of threat. The bloopers track Mario's movement, so they're quite easy to stay out of the way of. Here's the little safety mushroom. So I'm going to go for it because I want to intentionally take damage later in the level to make a particular jump easier. So I lose a little bit of time there, but I make it back. Whoops. That's fine. There we go.
you have to time that little jump there really precisely, otherwise the game thinks you've taken the incorrect route. There's 3 routes you can take.
I stopped. Okay. That's fine. Good.
Yeah, that works as well. Didn't fall in the lava, that's the main thing. So what he was trying
Tucked
to
away
do there
from
was
using the new strategy.
Yeah. Just take damage from one of the Koopa Troopers and then just power through the next one, but it doesn't matter. And he's still got Super
This is
Mario
fine.
power.
This means I can just run straight through him and get the axe. Okay. That's last levels out of the way.
Okay.
So it gets easier from here. We've got the original Super Mario Bros. Which isn't quite as long. The levels themselves are shorter. They're a little bit easier. I'm going to grab this because I do want I want to be Fire Mario in a little bit. So I grab that mushroom early.
Yeah, so this time around, even though this is the easy game, I'm going to make sure it's got power-ups.
Yeah.
Paradoxical.
I guess it is.
But it makes there are certain jumps that appear a lot more in this version of Super Mario Bros. That are a lot easier to make with fire flowers. We'll point them out when we come to it involves piranha plants. Everyone's favourite little snappy enemy.
So if there are pipes that are 4 blocks high or 5 blocks high, and a piranha plant's in the pipe, they're much easier to take as Fire Mario because you can just it doesn't matter whether the plant is at the top of its height. You can just zap them with the fire.
Yeah, and obviously this makes this bit a little bit easier as well.
Whoops. Oh dear me. There we go.
Yeah, get there eventually. This is all pretty straightforward. Probably
That wasn't supposed to happen.
I suspect people are very familiar with this game. So there's a shortcut here, which I'm sure many of you know. So we're going straight to World 4.
We've got the return of Lackey 2. What's interesting about this level is it's probably a little bit harder than its Lost Level counterpart, because we got some precise jumps. But because we're playing as Flower Mario, the danger's mitigated a little bit.
Just like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally you would try and clear those with a pixel perfect jump, but
you can just about make it as Small Mario or as Super Mario without slowing down, but it's much tougher.
So there's another warp zone in this world, is that right?
Yeah. So World 1 to World 4, World 4 to World 8.
fireworks again.
Loads of them.
Oh dear. So this, very nicely done. This warp zone is a little bit trickier to hit. It's not horrendously difficult, but there are little blocks.
Surrounded by hidden blocks, and there's one that's just underneath it as well. So you have to hit it. You have to approach it from the side.
You can block it off from yourself, though, can't you, as well, if you don't,
Yeah.
if you don't do that. Which obviously we really wouldn't want to be doing. We're up straight onto World 8.
There you go. So this level is just, thankfully, quite a bit easier as Fire Mario as well, because of these piranha plants.
And I suppose the Firefly is going to help you deal with the Hammer Bros that are coming up in the next level.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully I can keep hold of it until then.
Oh dear.
Whoops. It's fine. We'll
That's
take
alright.
care of the Hammer Bros with Small Mario
We can
instead.
deal with that. Not the end of the world.
Again, like last levels, no checkpoints in World 8. So if I fall down one of those pits, it's straight back to the start of the
That
level.
was quite a long level as well, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's got to be one of the longest in the original game.
So is this Hammer Bro Hell, or is this the next one?
No, that's 8-3.
Okay. Oh, this is Bullet
This
Bill.
is mostly bullet bills.
That's a jump that always screwed me over.
Right, so we're gonna stay out of the way of them by just jumping on top of the launchers. Oh, okay, he doesn't normally do that. That's fine. There's a bonus level down here that we can use to skip most of the level. And then we've just got a couple of Goombas that like to get in the way. And the staircase. There we go.
Never a fan of paratroopers coming down the stairs. Never a fan.
It's nice, it's bookends on this level. It starts with a paratrooper going down the stairs and it ends with a paratrooper going down the stairs.
Okay, so this is where really we would have liked to have the Fire Flowers to take out.
I can't predict what level the Hammer Bros are going to be on, so sometimes we have to dance with them, and sometimes we get lucky and we can just run straight through. Whoops, lots of dancing today.
Oh dear.
It's fine.
Oh, very nicely done.
So I'm going to use a shell to hopefully take care of these guys. Sometimes they jump over it like that, but that's fine. No shell for these, so we just got to take care of them the normal way. And this is... Oh, thank you. He's the last but one Hammer Bro.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
There's one more just before Bowser, just to throw a spanner in the works, but that's the rest of them done. That's a horrible level.
Yeah. Hearts in my mouth here, man.
And 8-4, right. I got a real penchant for jumping into that lava pit, and I have no idea why. So I just took that staircase a little bit slowly at the start.
So with this world, you have to take the correct pipe. So in order to progress the level, otherwise you loop. There's a little trick coming up where he tricks the game into thinking that he's gone down the correct pipe. So you'll see him run off
just by here.
and then run back again. Which
I'm going to run to the right. I'm going to change my mind.
oh no!
And I'm going to go down that pipe. And the reason I do that is the pipe that Mario goes down is determined by the screen position and not Mario's position. And there are two pipes that are really close together. So basically the game thinks I'm going down the correct pipe, but I'm actually going down an earlier pipe because I've moved the screen along far enough. I think it's...
Don't get eaten by a piranha plant.
If I don't get eaten by a piranha plant. Which I won't this time.
No. And it also helps you avoid a whole bunch of cheeps in a lava pit as well, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
this screen is horrendous. So, there we go. So we've run just far enough, and now we can go down here, and it should send us on rather than back. Yeah, there we go. Underwater section. Little further, and then we'll have made it home. So we've got underwater sections, not too bad. The next screen, I think we've got
It's a matter of patience, isn't it?
load of interceptors. We've got this Hammer Bro, a Fireball, and then Bowser. There we go, that's fine. That's fine. Ah, he's not being nice. And that's fine. Super Mario Bros. Done.
Okay, so the next one is Super Mario Bros. 2. He's going to use Peach for this because she has a bit of a higher jump than the other characters.
She's got a hover jump, so
Jump, that's correct.
she can jump a little bit further.
Stay airborne for a bit longer as well.
Toad runs a little bit faster if he's carrying something, which means that there are a few speedrunners that like to play as Toad, but Toad has a horrible jump, so being able to jump further as Peach is helpful as well because you can skip certain things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump all the way over to here, and that means I don't have to go into that cave. At the bottom level, I can enter straight at the top level, for example. We got 2 attempts to take this shortcut, which will take us straight to the boss. That'll do.
Very nice. So it's always better to take out the 2 bottom ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If you duck and then jump, you jump a little bit higher. And this is Birdo, who we're going to be seeing a lot of. 3 eggs to the face, and she's defeated. Whoops. You're not supposed to jump over them. Here we go, one more. As she's defeated, she's going to spit out a crystal that I want to pick up before it lands, just to save, I guess, a fraction of a second. Plus, it looks cool. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so there's a magic carpet just at the start of this level, which he's going to try and stay on top of once we knock the enemy off it, which helps skip a good portion of the level.
So we've got just about enough time. If we skirt around the Bezos narrowly, that's not going to help. We're going to try it anyway. There's a plan B if this doesn't work. It's supposed to catch that corner. Plan B is we're going to use this guy to make it instead. So we're going to duck jump off him. And that skips most of the level. Most of the level is an interior level, but we're going straight to the boss. So, Birdo again. She gets a little bit harder later in that she starts spitting fireballs in addition to eggs. But for now, she's fairly straightforward. It's just a case of trying to take it down quickly. There we go, that'll do.
Okay, so there's a skip to a warp in this next level.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to take quite a few warp zones in Super Mario Bros. 2.
So you basically pick up a potion right at the start, and the idea is just to hold on to it towards the end, right to the end of the level, which gives access to a warp zone, which will take us to World 4.
So there's a jar here. The potion spawns a door, and if I go down this jar in subspace, then it acts as a warp zone. So that's how the warp zones work in Super Mario Bros. 2. It's a warp to World 4. There are 3 other warp zones we're going to be using as well. We do a lot of backwards and forwards in Super Mario Bros. 2, just because it's the quickest way to get to the end. This first level in World 4 isn't too bad, but there's a really mean section at the start of the next level that I'm not particularly looking forward to. This level's nice and short.
You've got your Shy Guy gauntlet though?
Yeah, that's true. So instead of a regular boss in this level, we've got an army of Shy Guys riding autobombs, which shakes it up a little bit. It means we don't have to fight Birdo.
You got Fireball chasing you all the way along the level.
Oh,
there he
it's
is.
going to catch up as well. That's fine, I guess.
There we are.
Fireball beat me to the end. There we go. Okay, so that gauntlet of Shy Guys isn't too bad, but it's the one right at the start of this level I'm worried about. You've got a load of Bezos, which are these flying enemies,
Yeah,
and
it's not random. The way they generate it is fixed, but it's just
Oh dear.
there's so many of them.
Yeah, sort of have to
They
matrix
say
past
rush
them
you.
all, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go. That's that out of the way. Glad I don't have to do that again. We got another warp zone coming up. So we're going to grab. There's a potion in here. I want to stay ahead of the spouts that the whales are generating. Otherwise, I need to wait for them to pass or try and jump over them. And this jar here is another warp zone. We go into
Okay.
World 6?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, but we're
But-
not going to spend very long in it.
No, there's a trick here. So what he's going to do is, you can only do this on the All Stars version of Super Mario Bros. 2. He's going to quit, and he's going to go back to World 5 and walk to World 7. And it's a bit quicker than doing it that way than trying to
So
go
Super
through.
Mario All Stars has got a menu system, which means I can just choose to go back to World 5. And World 5 has a warp in it to World 7.
So, this is where Luigi's the best for this world, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's changed from Peach. Again, Luigi can. There's a couple of jumps in this world that only Luigi can make. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Crazy legs Luigi. So he's he can jump insanely high, but he hasn't got much control in the air. But he makes this level look like a cakewalk. There we go. He does have a little bit more difficulty with Birdo than Peach does, but he's really good at jumping. So there we go.
Oh dear.
Oh, that was weird. That was our first look at Green Birdo, wasn't it? So Green Birdo only throws fireballs, which means we have to defeat it with other things, like enemies or mushroom blocks.
So this level, the jumps are again easier with Luigi, and there's also a bit of a trick with the vines that Connor's going to try and demonstrate. I'm sure in a minute.
Okay, so the idea behind this level is you've got these hoopsters that are climbing trees, and you're supposed to use them to cross gaps in the floor. But Luigi doesn't really need to do that because he can just jump over all of the obstacles, which just completely negates them. And on to the next bit. So here, there's a frame between climbing and falling where, for some reason, you're allowed to jump. Which, there we go. I'll try and show that off. It saves a little bit of time, but obviously, if I fall, then I lose a little bit of time. So it's risk versus reward.
It just helps you scale the vines a bit quicker, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's not an awful lot quicker, but it is noticeable, especially if you can pull it off fairly consistently. We're going to have to use it in a later level to carry out a skip. But for now, it's just to save a little bit of time. And surprise, surprise, we're going to fight Birdo again. Though I quite like this Birdo battle because we get to attack over the fish. So we're going to throw the fish at her, leave, come back, the fish is respawned, and we can throw it at her again. Which is just, it's a little bit easier than trying to land on the eggs. Plus the eggs aren't consistent, like sometimes she throws fireballs, sometimes she throws eggs. So, easier to beat her with fish, in theory. There we go, that was a little bit slow. But
Didn't die. That's the
didn't
important-
die, and that's the main thing.
important So there's a jump at the start of this level which only Luigi can pull off. And it allows for quite a reasonable skip, doesn't it?
That's right.
Uh,
And thankfully, that was the last time we fight Birdo as Luigi. So there's a jar up here. What we're supposed to do is we're supposed to ride an enemy to get up there, but Luigi can just jump up there because he's Luigi. There we go. And that's our warp zone to World 7. World 7's the last world in Super Mario Bros. 2.
there's only two.
And there are only
levels.
2 levels, but the last level is it's a marathon level. Whoops.
Oh dear.
Okay, we're playing as Luigi.
Okay, so normally Connor would switch back to Peach there. More out of preference than anything, I take it. But
Yeah. Luigi can make all of the jumps that Peach can.
we can do the same tricks with Luigi here as well. So normally you would have
Peach
to.
will take this a little bit faster because she can hover jump between the pedestals. And while Luigi can do that, I never play this level as Luigi, and I don't know why I selected him.
Impatience.
guess so. It's the bane of the speedrunner. Impatience. There we go.
Okay,
So I
so-
kill those 2 enemies to make sure this guy spawns. And I'm going to try this as Luigi. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can make that jump as Luigi. That's good.
There you are.
That's a skip. Skip that section.
So
This is
normally
this is new and interesting.
So that enemy that he jumped off doesn't always spawn if you don't kill kill a couple of enemies at the beginning. There's a spawn cap, which can prevent him from spawning. So that's why he took the time to kill a couple at the beginning. So in order to jump off that enemy's head.
You know what this means, don't you? It means I have to fight Birdo as Luigi.
That's fine. You got some mushrooms. Oh dear.
No, that's fine. That was on purpose. There we go. That was really quick.
Well done.
Thankfully.
New strat. Luigi.
New strat. Luigi 7-1. No, thank you. There we go. Back to Peach. 7-2. Last level.
So this is where he'll have to use the vine trick. It allows for a pretty reasonable skip of quite a considerable portion of this level.
So we've got conveyor belts here. Obviously, we want to run on the one side to the right, and we don't want to spend much time at all on the one side to the left.
Obviously, we don't want to take any damage here either
Because there's a load of bosses at the end of this level. So here, the game wants me to continue on, but I'm going to jump out of bounds instead. Which means I can run basically straight to the end of the level and then drop back in. Which is great, because this is a really long level. It also means that this key spawns. Normally you'd have to defeat Birdo to get the key, but for whatever reason, if you drop in from the top, that's not the case. So, Birdo and Phanto, they're done. Phanto's the mask that chases you if you pick up the key. Now we've got Hawkmouth. So
yeah, instead of that
Game
triggering a door,
throws a bit of a curveball. And of course he attacks you, why wouldn't he? There we go, so we've taken care of him. And we're going into the final boss as, yeah, we got 2 hearts, it should be okay. Wart takes 6 hits to defeat. We defeat him by throwing vegetables into his mouth. And for some reason he's got a vegetable machine right in the middle of the room. It's probably not the most sensible thing.
it's all these
have.
megalomaniac video game bosses.
Hoist by his
Always
own
have-
petard.
Yes, always placing the very thing that can kill them in their own lair.
So we can only throw the vegetables into his mouth when his mouth is open. But when his mouth is open, he's normally spitting bubbles. And if the vegetables make contact with the bubbles, they just disintegrate. So we've got this very brief window. Wait, sometimes they just disintegrate anyway.
He did. He hit it with a bubble himself, didn't he?
There we go.
Oh,
So
okay.
that wasn't great.
So yeah, this
This
boss
is-
is quite annoying. It's just a matter of patience, isn't it? Really.
It's patience, and it's I guess it's the most random element of the entire run. Oh,
dear.
that's okay. I kept hold of the vegetable.
And it was the last.
There we go. Good.
There we are. So that's Super Mario Bros. 2 out of the way.
Could have taken him a little bit faster, I think. But we get to end with my favourite, Super Mario Bros. 3. Right, that's that one done. One more to go.
Okay, so there's a couple of strats for the first world in this. You can either grab a raccoon feather immediately and attempt to fly over the top, or you can stay as just Super Mario and maintain top speed. If you've got the raccoon tail, you can't maintain top speed indefinitely. So he's gonna attempt to. There we are. So he's sprinting,
There we go.
and then
Run over the clouds, jump over most of the level, and maintain P speed so that we can get to the finish faster. That's a really good world one.
That was good.
Level 1. Was much better than Lost Levels 1-1.
So the next level's sort of straightforward again, isn't it? Obviously, early game. Towards the end, though, he's going to slow down ever so slightly to avoid hitting another star card at the end of the level.
If you get 3 star cards in a row, then there's a bit of an animation where fireworks go off, and you get 5 extra lives. But we don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want to be dying anyway. So the lives.
So I'm going to slow down a little, and hopefully, there we go. We got a flower instead, so that's good.
And yeah, so this is where we get the first warp whistle.
So there are 2 of these we're going to collect. We're going to use them both together to skip straight ahead to
I can't fathom how anyone would ever figured this out. But there's
helplines.
Yes, helplines. Yeah.
Oops.
Magazines.
We want that.
So with the raccoon as well, it sort of gives you a bit of a lifeline as well. So if you're about to if you're about to fall short on a jump, isn't it? You can sort of just hover a little bit.
If we duck on that block for 4 seconds, we drop into the background. And behind this level is a secret toad house where we receive a warp whistle. For some reason. And then there's another warp whistle in the fortress, which we're going to go for now. Which is why we've grabbed the super leaf to become Raccoon Mario. And when we've got both of them, we'll jump straight ahead to World 8.
So it is achievable, isn't it, without the Raccoon Mario on this level? But it's a lot easier to get up here and quicker.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'd have to go in. We'd have to take that item box there.
And there we are.
To pick up the super leaf.
Another warp whistle.
There's.
Oh, we're not gonna hear the sound effects. Only Carla can hear it.
There's a fair bit of. Well, we've got the warping and we've got a couple of auto scrollers. So I don't know. I don't know if there are any donations coming in, but if they were, and you wanted to, it would be a good time. There's not much I can do to speed up auto scrollers.
Yeah. There's just a bit of a procession at the beginning of this.
Okay.
So we've got 3 auto scrollers to start with, and then we've got 1 more later on. So basically the idea is just don't die.
Yeah.
Of course. But you can't really take it any quicker because it scrolls at a fixed speed.
The screen will only scroll so quickly.
Whoop. Yeah, don't do that.
Right. So we've got, what have we got? We've got 4 of these all in all, haven't we? We've got two at the start of the world, one in the middle somewhere,
okay.
And 1 towards the end.
Okay, so while we haven't got a huge amount to talk about, I'm going to give a shameless plug to the Arcade Vaults retro gaming company in Cardiff. So if you're in South Wales anywhere, be sure to come and see us. Run events all over, pretty much with lots of SNESes and Mega Drives and old stuff like that. So if that's the sort of thing you're into.
Such a long level. What level did I say was the longest level in the run earlier? I think I was wrong. Right, we're there. We've got this one last tank. Okay, 2 if you include this little one. And now the pipe. So I'm gonna just bounce off this cannonball because it looks good, and then we're gonna go down here.
So this guy, yeah, we just jump on his head easily enough. Avoid his boomerang.
That star will come in handy later.
So that goes into the inventory, and going to attempt to use it a little bit later on. So now, yeah, another auto scroller. This time we've got some boats. This one's a bit trickier because they bob up and down. It can sort of throw off your jumps with the
projectiles, the cannonballs, and then you've got the rocky wrenches respawn in this level as well, which makes it a little bit trickier. They just keep coming back.
Apparently, you can swim under these boats as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So you want to tap jump really quickly to be able to swim under these boats. But since it doesn't actually save much time, jumping over the top of the boats gives me something to do. Whoops. That's okay. That's not the end of the world.
That's fine. You're going to be getting a fire flower a little bit later on anyway, isn't it? So.
Odds are I'll get dragged into one of the hand traps, and I'll get the super leaf back that way. Unless I get really lucky, I manage to run across all three.
Oh dear.
I should have swum underneath them. That's what I should have done.
Safer.
You can get nudged down by the boats while you're swimming, though. You can get nudged basically out of bounds and die that way.
Oh right.
Okay,
so this guy's going to be a bit tricky now.
Nah, he's fine.
Oh, there we are. I take it all back. we hit some fail.
Boom Boom never gets too tricky.
Okay, so this is a bit of RNG now. So there's some hands coming up. That's next, isn't it?
Yeah, that's next. So
Yeah,
what they do is there's a chance that they pull you down into the level that they represent. There are 3 of them. It looks like there's 5, but there's actually just 3.
Oh wow!
And
Incredibly lucky.
That's really good.
Normally, yeah.
So we managed to skip them all.
You've got what, about 50-50 chance?
Yeah.
Of each one. So yeah, three dice rolls basically, or coin flips, and he won all of them there, which I've never seen him do before, which is great. So again, this is another.
It's to make up for all those lost level deaths.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It all balances out. So these guys don't respawn on this level, do they? But
no. So this is one of the fastest sort of scrolling levels in the game, and really you want to be playing as Raccoon Mario because some of the jumps are just flat out nasty, really tricky to make. This is one of them. What's nice about playing as Small Mario is that these guys can't actually hit me with the wrenches. The lowest they can throw the wrenches goes over the top of Small Mario's head. That's literally thrown a spanner in the works. There we go.
Small mercies, eh?
Small mercies. We got this guy again.
Very nicely done. So is this where the star comes into play?
Yeah.
So is this is a new strat for you?
Yeah, I guess so. What I normally do is I don't take the star here, but we've got these piranha plants in pipes, and they're just really tricky to deal with.
Yeah,
so.
normally you're just having to take your time with them, aren't you?
Yeah.
So in that instance, just run through them. Oh, that's not good.
Whoops. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Right, I'm gonna take my time a little bit because I've only got 1 hit. Okay then.
That's a bit mean.
Turns out there's a hidden block right there.
So you can jump on the bullet bill to clear that gap.
It's easier than using the note block.
Yeah. And there we are. So,
Oh, that was okay. That was fine.
That was good. Nicely done. There's a bit of a skip at the start of this level. It's not a glitch or anything. It's just well hidden.
There's a shortcut hidden under the quicksand just by here. So this is.
And we don't trigger that angry sun either that chases you around the whole level. And it's just horrible.
Yeah, so there's a really tricky enemy. He first shows up in World 2, the Angry Sun, chases you through the level, swoops down to try and take care of you. And he's in this level as well, but he's not because we skipped the spot where he spawns. This is going to be tricky. There we go.
Nicely done.
Used to having Raccoon Mario there. Because we're not playing as Raccoon Mario, we're going to have to take a slightly different route through the fortress.
Oh yeah, you can't take that little skip. Well, that's no biggie though. It's not massive,
okay.
is it?
And I think I can go super at the start of the level at least. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a safety mushroom at least, eh?
Ooh, I can't go through there either. Yes, I can. That's fine.
You'd need to, wouldn't you? That's
yeah, of course.
For, yeah.
That's why the mushroom is there.
And well, it'll help you get your fire flower power up as well when it's soon enough.
There we go.
Well, we've got that. Yeah,
completely ignore what I just said. We are going to use the Raccoon Mario to make this little skip.
little skip,
What's
yeah.
nice about this is if I duck down, I can just glitch through there as well, which saves a little bit of time. The game panics because I'm stood in a wall. I'm stood in a gap that I don't quite fit into, so it pushes me through the wall to solve that problem.
I mean, yeah, that's a mechanic present in a lot of the Mario platforms, isn't it?
We've got a little changing room by here, because from here on out, I'm going to want to play as Fire Mario.
Makes the final boss a bit quicker. Is that right?
That's right. I think it's somewhere between 20 and 30 fireballs to defeat Bowser, which just happens to be a little bit quicker than defeating him the normal way. It's also slightly faster to beat Boom Boom as well. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to keep the raccoon tail up until this point so we could do that little skip in the middle of this fortress. That's why we didn't change to Fire Mario before now.
So this is another auto-scroller now?
One more auto-scroller, and then the final level, Bowser's Castle. This one's not too bad because what I usually do is I jump up here and avoid most of the obstacles.
If you look hard enough, you can just about see his feet.
If I duck down, you can see a couple of pixels on my shoe, which is how I know where I am. Also, because I'm Fire Mario, I can chuck fireballs down here, and that helps me see where I am as well. And what I can sometimes do is I can jump across that gap, so I skip a little bit extra as well.
But I mean, it doesn't save any time anyway, does it?
It doesn't save time.
It's just safer.
It's just safer, yeah. It's got Basketball Mario here. Dribbling down to the right, taking out all the rocky wrenches. There we go.
Should probably while it's quiet again, probably should mention the lovely bar we went to last night as well. Who were very kindly streaming this just over the road from Jinx. 2 tribes and had some delicious beer in there as well. So
whoops!
Very nicely allowed us.
Didn't want to pick him up.
Watch some runs on their telly in the bar. Which is also why I'm not firing on full cylinders today.
Right, here we go. So we got Boom Boom. One more time.
So we can
and then we can forget about him.
Yeah.
Not sure why I jumped on his head. It felt like the right thing to do.
Man, style points.
Who do we fight more times? Do we fight Boom Boom or Birdo? It's probably similar.
I think it's 4 apiece, isn't it?
It might be.
So this is the last level.
Okay. So there are laser statues. We're going to jump over the top of them so we don't get hit.
We can try to.
Try to. We didn't get hit. That was the aim.
That was the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing.
We got to keep hold of this fire flower ideally until the end of the level because, like we were saying earlier, Bowser goes down quicker if we take him down with fireballs.
And we've got another little glitch through the wall here again.
Yeah, so we're going to do this one more time. If I can... There we go.
Saves...
Skips a section.
Yeah. Smidgen of time, but it all adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Try and make that jump. Oh dear me. Okay. Does it respawn? Nope.
Oh dear.
We're taking the bottom route.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was going to be an incorrect... Yeah.
No, it's okay. We have to go through one more screen if we take the bottom route.
Oh, it's not the end
so
of the world, is it?
we lose a couple of seconds. Plus however much time it took me to check whether that thing respawns. But it's not the end of the world. Oh dear me. Okay.
So you were waiting for that guy to turn up, weren't you?
Yeah. It's not random. It's at set points. But I usually go the other way, so I don't know what the set points are. There we go, that's fine. So, we've made it to the Bowser fight unscathed.
So, time's coming up. So normally Bowser would jump, you'd normally try and get Bowser to fall down this pit here, but...
Time is not when I defeat Bowser, it's when I go through that door over there. Okay, that's Bowser taken care of. The time is going to tick down, then the door's going to unlock, I'll go through it, and that'll be time, so I'll call it. And time. There we go. That was Super Mario All-Stars. All 4.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Diane.
It was it got a bit hairy in places.
A little bit hairy, yeah.
Then, that was, on my end, a 49-15. I don't know if I was actually talking into the microphone there.
You were.
Alright, lovely.
Super Mario Bros. 3 was pretty good.
It was.
Really
It
lucky
was.
to get through the hand traps.
Oh yeah, it was incredible luck.
Alright, very good run. And now with that, we're going to take a bit of a break here. The stream's going to be going down for about possibly up to 20-25 minutes, just while we sort things out for the Super Mario World race coming up in just a moment. That's going to be between Xander Webb 479 and Agathor 86. So stream's going to be going down for a bit, but once it comes back up, we should be